Good morning, fellow excellence. We are Group C, here to discuss to you our biographies of known people.
Jose Rizal is one of those people who Filipinos still debate who is the true hero of the Philippines. His full name, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado A. Alonso Rialondo, born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Philippines, and was executed on December 30, 1896 at Bagumbayat, now known as Luneta Park in Manila. He has 11 siblings including himself and was the 7th child as well as the second of Francisco Mercado and Teodoro Alonso. His mother began his education at home when he was 11 years old, continued this education in Bignan, Laguna. In 1872, he entered the Jesuitran Ateneo Municipal de Manila, was put on a class composed of Spaniards, Mestizos, and Filipinos, and was supposed considered inferior, thereby placed at the bottom of the class. Still, he graduated and obtained a bachelor's degree with sobresalente by 1876. In the year 1877, he continued his education in UST by enrolling in the pre-law courses. He graduated with flying colors and decided to opt for medicinal course upon receiving the letter that his mother had failed eyesight. He wanted to be a physician for her. By 1882, he went to Madrid at Universidad Center de Madrid. In 1885, at the age of 24, he finished his course in philosophy and letters with a grade of excellent. By 1885 onwards, he took graduated studies in Paris, France, Heidelberg, Germany. Rizal is a leader of propaganda movement La Solidaridad, published in Barcelona. By 1892, he arrived back to the Philippines, founded a non-violent reform society called Liga Pilipina in Manila, and was Dapitan, northwest of Mindanao, where he remained in exile for 4 years, doing scientific research and founding a school and hospital. However, in 1896, the Katipunan revolt against Spain. The Katipunan is a nationalist secret society. He has no form of any connection with the society. However, in 1896, the Katipunan revolted against Spain. The Katipunan is nationalist security and he has no any connection with society. However, he was arrested and tried for sedition by the military confined in Fort Santiago. This was martyrdom, convinced the Filipinos that there was no other way than launch a revolution against the Spaniards.
He wrote Noli Me Tangere, translated as Touch Me Not. While he was in Berlin, Germany in 1887, El Filibusterismo, translated as The Rebel, is written in Ghent, Belgium in 1891, which exposed the qualities of the Spanish friars in the Philippines. The defect of the Spanish administration and the vices of the clergy during his confinement, Rizal wrote Mi Ultimo Adios, or My Last Farewell, a masterpiece of 19th century Spanish verse. Rizal's concept of the importance of education is clearly enunciated in his work entitled Instruction, wherein he sought improvement in the schools and in the method of teaching. He maintained that the backwardness of his country during the Spanish era was not due to the Filipinos' indifference, apathy, or indolence as claimed by the rulers, but to neglect of the Spanish authorities in the islands. Since education is the foundation of society and prerequisite for social progress, Rizal claimed that only through education could the Philippines be saved from domination, as he believed the country should be developed, civilized, educated, and trained in the science of self-government. The study of human behavior as to whether it is good or is the science that which Rizal's philosophy was based.
In physics, there is a man who was able to uncover most of the mysteries behind our physical bounds, like matter that of which we are able to see, touch, and feel. His mind reinvented space and time, foretelling a universe so bizarre and grand that it is challenged the limits of human imagination. The man was known as Albert Einstein. He was born on March 14, 1879 in ULM, Germany, and died on April 18, 1955 in Princeton, New Jersey, United States. His parents were Hermann Einstein and Pauline Einstein, and his wife was Meleva Marie Einstein, a fellow brilliant scientist who helped her husband organize his ideas into research regarding relative motion. The names of his children were Edward Einstein, Hans Albert Einstein, and Lisa Einstein. He received honorary doctorate degree in science, medicine, and philosophy from many European and American universities.
Einstein's own philosophy of science is an original synthesis of elements drawn from sources of diverse neo-Kantianism, conventionalism, and logical empiricism, its distinctive feature being its novel blending of realism with a wholly underdeterminationist form of conventionalism. Avogadro's number 6.022 times 10 over 23 was also one of the theories that strengthened his belief. Such philosophy of his made it possible for him to do works theories that changed the world. Quantum theory of light, which believes that light is a particle or a photon. Special theory of relativity speaks that length and time are not fixed and depend on the observed frame of reference. The Bose-Einstein condensate predicted in 1924 by Albert Einstein on the basis of the quantum formulations of the Indian physics Satyendranath Bose and pertains to the coalescence of separate atoms or subatomic particles called to near absolute zero. General theory of relativity, the difference between them was its argument regarding the inextricable connection between space and gravity. However, it did not acknowledge the existence of gravity. Photoelectric effect earned him a Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. Wave-particle duality denotes that a photon is both a wave and particle. Einstein asserted that light is a particle containing energy corresponding to their wavelength. The scientific equation that helped explain special relativity, E equals mc squared, is famous even among those who don't understand its underlying physics. Einstein also tried in vain to unify all the forces of the universe in a single theory, a theory of everything, which he was still working on the time of his death.
On April 23, 1564, renowned English poet, playwright, and actor William Shakespeare was born. He was a prolific writer during the Elizabeth and Jacobins age of British theatre, sometimes called the English Renaissance or the earlier modern period, and continued to be one of the most important literary figure of the English language. He was the son of John Shakespeare and Mary Arden, who had 8 children. As they lost 2 daughters when such were just infant, he became their eldest child. His father worked as a glove maker, but he also became an important figure in the town of Stratford by fulfilling civic positions. His father elevated status meant that he can likely send his children, including William, to the local grammar school. When William was 18, Shakespeare married in 26 years old Anne Hathaway. It was a rush marriage because Anne was already pregnant at the time of the ceremony. Together, they had 3 children. Their first daughter, Susanna, was born 6 months after the wedding and was later followed by twins, Hamnet and Judith. Hamnet died when he was 11 years old.
Did you know this about William Shakespeare? Shakespeare's career jump-started in London, but when did he go there? We know Shakespeare's twins were baptized in 1585, and that by 1592, his reputation was established in London. But the intervening years are considered a mystery. Scholars generally refer to these years as the lost years.
During the time in London, Shakespeare's first printed works were published. They were 2 long poems, Venus and Adonis in 1593 and The Rape of Lucrece 1594. He also became a founding member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a company of actors. Shakespeare was the company's regular dramatist, producing on average 2 plays a year from almost 20 years. He remained with the company for the rest of his career, during which time it involved the King's Men under the patronage of King James I from 1603. During his time in the company, Shakespeare wrote many of these most famous tragedies such as King Lear and Macbeth, as well the great romance like The Winter Tales and The Tempest. Altogether, Shakespeare's works include 38 plays, 2 narrative poems, 154 sonnets, and variety of other poems.
In the end, all such biographies we told you about are mere glimpses from the past we've all heard. Trying to get into the minds of these legends thrive in us this awe-striking feeling, right? But as we all know, biographies became as what these legends have shown. That is all as Group C we present to you, fellow excellence. Have a wonderful questioning day and goodbye.